All right, next one on the list is number 30 on Module 6 homework. I think I can go over all the Module 6 homework today. Let me try. So it says, test the claim about the population mean mu at the level of significance alpha. Assume the population is normally distributed. The claim being made is that mu is less than, and as soon as I see it, where I'm typing that in? I'm typing that into the alternative hypothesis. Why do you think I'm doing that? Because look at the symbol for me. The symbol is mu is less than. If it is less than, greater than, or does not equal to, if it doesn't have equal to p's, that's automatically your alternative hypothesis. Null has to be the opposite of that, so it's just the direct opposite of strictly less than. So it needs to include greater than or equal to. 4815. So that's how you identify the hypothesis. Let's find the standardized test statistic T. So we are using T-stat, and you know why? Because they gave you lowercase s. That's sample standard deviation. That's what we get when we don't have what we really want, like the population standard deviation. If you don't have that, we have to use T-stat. Since this is homework and quiz, I'm just going to use the StatCrunch, which is the most convenient. But if you want to know how to do this using TI-84, you can let me know, okay? That's going to be helpful for your final exam. But since we're doing our final exam review next week, we can talk about TI-84 and how to do those on the calculator next week. All right, so how do we do this? Go to Stat, T-Stat. One sample, right? All the Module 6 assignments, they're all one sample. I think Module 7 is where you're going to work with 2 samples. So one sample, we have summary, and all you gotta have to do, you just have to type everything in. Mean is the X bar, 5017. Sample standard deviation is 5613, and sample size is 53. The hypothesis, the alternative is that mu is less than 4815, and although we can't change the symbol for the null hypothesis, if you keep the alternative as mu is less than 4815, everything will be okay. And that's all. You just gotta hit compute, and they're going to give you that T-stat, the standardized test statistic T, to be this number, okay? So and then what we really care about is the p-value, because that's how we make our decision. Look at that p-value. That is horribly big. That's way too big. So that's almost 60%. So the chance of seeing something like this kind of sample statistic, if the null was true, is almost 60%. So remember, small p-value is what we want. A big p-value. Now we compare, because you may wonder, like, how big is big? If it's bigger than the alpha level, and the alpha was 0.10, 0.60 is definitely greater than alpha, 0.10. So when p is greater, and I think I even have these fun memes that I share with my 245 students. Like, we don't have lecture. That will be great because, if I can explain these will be really easy. But hold on. Okay, maybe not chapter 6. Chapter 7. This must be it. So maybe 7.1. Because you need to know what you are doing based on that p-value. So, I found these cute memes online. Where did you go? Maybe I put that on 7.2 slides. Here it is. So when p is low, you're going to reject the whole, or h naught. When p is low, you're going to reject the null hypothesis. But when p is greater than alpha, and the typical alpha is 0.05, you're going to have to say that we failed to reject the null hypothesis. So what happened this time? Do we reject, or do we fail to reject this time? You see, it was greater than the alpha level, so we have to say we failed to reject the null hypothesis. And whenever p-value is big, we have no evidence to say much about anything. So we should say there isn't enough evidence at the 10% level of significance to, if we cannot reject the null, which means we are stuck with this null, right? But what the claim being made was the alternative. So when we are stuck with this claim, we cannot go and believe the other one. We have no evidence to support the claim being made. So like I said, it's just the interpretation is usually the hardest part, but really just using technology to come up with the p-value is super easy. But just you have to know how to make your conclusion in context based on that number we found. So that is it for number 30 on Module 6 homework.